Imagine this, a family of 5. Their last photograph capturing smiles that look so ordinary, yet now feel like haunting masks of destiny. The Whitmores of Willow Creek, Ohio. A father, a mother, 3 innocent children. Gone. Vanished. In one single night, without a trace. The year was 1928. A time when life in small towns was slow, predictable, safe. Or at least, that's what people believed. But the story I'm about to tell you will make you question, how safe is any family, really? It was late summer, August 17th. The crops were tall, the air was thick with humidity, and the storm clouds had been gathering for days. Henry Whitmore, a hard-working farmer, returned home from the fields. He was a strong man, respected by his neighbors, though some whispered he carried the weight of debts and secrets. Margaret, his wife, was seen as quiet, gentle, but others claimed she often stared too long into the woods behind their farmhouse, as if she heard something or someone. Their children, James, 14, curious and bold, Clara, 10, shy but bright, and little Thomas, barely 6, always clutching his wooden toy horse. A family like any other, or so it seemed, that night. As the storm rolled over Willow Creek, lightning split the sky. Rain lashed against the windows and thunder shook the earth. Neighbors later said they heard a scream echo through the valley. Some swore it was a woman. Others claimed it was the cry of a child. But none dared to step outside. Because in 1928, in Willow Creek, people minded their own business. By morning, the Whitmore farmhouse was silent. Breakfast was still on the table, plates half filled, untouched. A lamp flickered, its oil nearly gone. The family dog barked frantically, tied to its post, eyes fixed on the dark line of the woods. Shoes were neatly left by the door. Bed sheets were rumpled, as if someone had just risen from them. But the Whitmores were gone. Now stop for a moment. Imagine walking into that house. The silence, the uneaten food, the faint smell of smoke from the lamp. No struggle, no blood, nothing stolen. Just absence. What's the first thought that comes to your mind? Did the family leave willingly, or were they taken by force? Police were called. A search began. The woods were combed. Rivers were dragged. Farmers joined with lanterns and rifles. But no footprints, no wagon tracks, no signs of escape or abduction. It was as if the Whitmores had simply dissolved into the night. And here's the chilling detail. In the family photograph, taken just a week before, their eyes seemed hollow. Some say they looked as if they already knew their fate. So what happened? Let's explore the theories. Some whispered that Henry owed money. Gambling, perhaps. Or illegal business during Prohibition. Could it be that men came in the night to collect their debt and silence the entire family? But then, why no signs of violence? Why leave food on the table? Why leave the dog alive? Another theory, the land itself was cursed. Long before the Whitmores, this farm belonged to a native tribe. Locals swore the woods were haunted, that at night lanterns appeared between the trees with no one carrying them. Margaret, some said, was drawn to the woods, seen staring, even walking near them at dusk. Did she lead her family into the forest that night, into something dark and eternal? Pause here. What do you think? If you were one of the neighbors and you heard those screams during the storm, would you have entered that house? Or would you, too, have stayed inside, telling yourself it was just the wind? And here's a harder question. Do you believe an entire family can vanish without leaving a single trace? Weeks turned to months. The farmhouse was abandoned. Some locals refused to even look at it. Others dared to enter, claiming to hear children's laughter in the empty rooms. Faint at first, then echoing louder. A traveling pastor tried to bless the land, but according to the story, his candle blew out though no wind was present. He left the same night and never returned. Years passed. Travelers reported strange sightings near the woods. A woman in a white dress wandering at twilight. A lantern swaying in the distance. Voices whispering their names. Hunters claimed to find small handprints in the mud by the riverbank. Too small to belong to adults. Too fresh to belong to ghosts, or so they thought. But here's the strangest part. In 1935, 7 years after the disappearance, A man in a nearby town swore he saw Henry Whitmore. Alive. He described him in detail. The same strong jaw, the same limp in his left leg. When approached, the man disappeared into the crowd and was never seen again. Was it Henry? Or just a coincidence? And if it was Henry, what happened to his family? Did he abandon them? Or was he cursed to walk alone, forever separated from them? Theories only grew darker. Some believed Margaret was not the victim but the cause, that she practiced rituals drawn from old books she inherited from her grandmother. That night, as the storm raged, perhaps she performed something that went wrong. Did she open a door to something not meant for this world? Did she take her family into the woods, not as victims, but as sacrifices? And yet, no evidence. No bodies. No closure. Just questions. And so, even now, the Whitmore case remains one of America's forgotten mysteries. So let me ask you, what do you think really happened? Was it murder? Was it debt and revenge? A supernatural curse? Or did the Whitmores themselves choose to disappear, hiding from something we can't even imagine? Comment your theory below, and tell me which country you're watching from. And if you believe more people need to know about these forgotten family mysteries, subscribe to the channel, because this is only the beginning. The shadows of history are filled with stories just like this one, and some of them are even darker.